Okay.
Okay. So, can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good day, everyone.
Good
Okay.
day.
Good day. Okay. This will be my first ever presentation, so bear with me. Okay. So today, my group would like to do a presentation on U.S. and China trade war. Basically, this is one heavily talked. Basically, this is the news headlines apart from coronavirus. So our group will be A. Prakash, Anita, Nora Fiza, Nurul, Wasanti, Nokeswari, Ahmad Shifhafuddin, Ahmad Zoharan, and myself. So we'll go to the next slide. So the overview of this presentation is what is the trade war, what led to the US-China trade war, tariff imposed, the impact to China, the impact to US, the impact to globally, World Trade Organization stand, current circumstances, biggest winners of the trade war, conclusion of what we think will happen. So we'll go to the next slide. So what is a trade war? Basically, the trade war is of two countries damaging each other. So by imposing tariff, like blocking the trade, and a few more other things like economic conflicts between two countries.
Yes, good. Thank
So,
you. Okay. Try our best. Thank you.
someone talking? Is, okay, can I continue?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So this trade war is basically, we are talking about all this blocking of trades and anti-dumping, and both countries, like two countries, fight each other. So we'll go to the next slide. What led to US trade deficit? Basically, what we know of is our point of view. The trade deficit of US was the triggering point of the trade of the war, whereby it actually started in the year of 1985. It's slowly, steadily increased. So at the moment, the trade deficit US and 2018 is about 419 billion, and US exports to China is only 120 billion. We have got about in China, they have about 1 trillion of debts, US debts against China. So that could be the triggering point of the US and US-China trade war. Let me go to the next slide. So basically, this is the photo illustrating the US trade deficit all about, whereby US imports against China exports. So we can see a large amount of computers, cell phones, and apparels or footwears are being imported to US, whereas China is only importing about 106 billion, whereas it's commercial aircraft, soybeans, and semiconductors. So from here, we can always see a one-sided trade. So basically, we reckon that the trade war is triggered by this unbalanced trade between these two countries. So we'll go to the next trade. Next. Okay. Trump has always accused China of unfair trade. So he has blaming them of manipulating of the currency, and that is when the manipulation of currency, the renminbi will actually be lowered, whereby the goods are actually cheaper, where US will always have competition among themselves in in getting these goods. The goods are cheaper, and this is killing US domestic trades internally. We'll go to the next slide. So, but this is where the war begins, the imposing of tariffs. So you can see tariffs are being imposed, enacted by Trump. Before this, steel imports were enacted, steel and aluminum. There was, Trump actually imposed tariff and quotas on imported panels, solar panels and washing machine. That is the beginning. Then he actually started with 25% of tariff on steel imports, 10% on aluminum. It's, it's actually started in the year 2018 with 34 billions of Chinese imports. So we'll go to the next screen. Okay, this is the chronology of the events which took place. From here, we can clearly see, very obvious that a tick for tack is been happening, war between these two countries, whereby US action on tariff started in January 22 and 8, followed with China imposing tariff, followed with US and China. You know, both of them are actually equally tick for tack, replying their war. We'll go to the next. Okay, this is the continuation of that tariffs imposed. The impact. Now we'll talk about the impact. The impact to China. So basically, with this
Pull.
trade war.
No. The button pull. Then make it.
Please, all of you unmute, mute yourself, please. Carry on.
Okay. Basically, this impact on China. The trade war actually contributed to slowdown of the economy and industrial output growth in China itself, which has already been a decline. Many American companies are actually beginning to shift themselves out of China, to escape from the tariff. This trade war actually caused economic damage to China itself, when foreign companies are actually shifting out. There was a slowdown, and there was also led to a stock market decline, which not only affected China, it also affected quite a lot of countries. The impact to US, of course, the impact to US is much greater. The US trade war, the higher prices of consumer, financial difficulties of farmers, whereby some of the farmers have actually gone bankrupt and so on. US manufacturing suffered under this tariff because parts of the, their manufacturing products are from China, and they are unable to maintain the price on a lower. So when these prices, the manufacturing companies, which their goods are, the prices are more expensive, they are losing their sales domestically in United States, internally. We'll go to the next slide. The impact globally. Of course, the impact on the globally is much more greater too. So the impact on supply chain, international company supply chains operations in US and China are badly affected because of this tariff imposition. The goods prices were, of course, skyrocketed, and they are unable to carry on with their normal supply chains among other countries. The prices, the world prices, the global market adjusted to divert trade around the countries. The prices actually gone up. The real exchange rates also actually reduced imports and all that. So the trade diversion, shifting production and restructuring their supply chain to relocate elsewhere, productivity, manufacturing, purchasing level have been poor, weakening the global economy. Capital reallocation, shifting the structure of production to respond to changes in tariff involves relocation across the sector. This actually globally impacted in every sector, financially and economically. We'll go to the next. World Trade Organization stand. World Trade Organization has always confirmed that US has always violated rules by imposing tariff on China, drawing an angry response from the Trump. But Trump has threatened to withdraw from US World Trade Organization. But it's only a threatening, and they actually not went out, because they also have got another agreement, GATT, which is still in force. So so far they are still in the next. Okay, current circumstances. The current circumstances, of course, are stealing of intellectual properties. US always claims that China has stolen their intellectual properties, like artificial intelligence, whereby these companies, Chinese companies, they actually do joint venture companies in US. Along the way, they took up lots of informations, data, and all that, which US feels and claims that have misused all this data for China's gain.
2 minutes remaining.
Yes. Okay, we go to the next slide. Okay, it's continuation of the circumstances. US-China conflict is becoming a tech war. China wants to be the most powerful, economically powerful, and technology leader in the world, which goes without saying. Everywhere, anywhere of in this world which we go, we can always find a made in China products. They set the ambition, a plan which is called Made in China. China tech industry is now so vast and cutting edge. Okay, it's continuation of this AI intelligence to boost the economy and surveillance. It's always known that the information which they gathered from the China joint venture companies and all that, they have used it. Americans claim that China has used it for their economy boost and for their surveillance too. We'll go to the next. They have gone ahead of banning the Huawei, Android, and Google. So basically, the Huawei, they feel that by the having of this 5G technology in Huawei, a lot of information can be taken from US to China for other purposes, for misused or anything. So basically, this 5G technology, US has not gone into that yet. So any restrictions or filtering, they may not be able to do so. So as such, US, the only option is to ban the Huawei, the phone altogether. And they did not allow Huawei to use Android and Google. But basically all these Androids and Googles on Huawei phones can be used, but only thing they are unable to upgrading at the moment. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, this is the latest attack from US to this SMIC, semi manufacturing IC conductor. I think it's another company, from US, semi manufacturing international corporation company. So they have imposed such an policy.
Can move on to the last part now.
Last part.
Later we'll ask you questions.
Okay. The biggest winner of the trade war, of course, the biggest winner of the trade war, China war, is now they claim that it's Southeast Asian countries, whereby most of the multinational companies from China has actually shifted to these Asian countries, and most of the Asian countries, their over-reliance on China's supply eco chain will be reduced. Basically, Vietnam was the key beneficiary from this effect of the tariff imposed, because most of the foreign companies actually shifted their operations to Vietnam, and Vietnam, their exports has actually increased tremendously. We'll go to the next. Conclusion, what we think, what will happen? No, of course, the latest Biden will not end the trade war, basically because he is agreeing to Trump. Biden has matched Trump's rhetoric on trade soundbite for soundbite, and its economy plans are likely to make trade conflict worse. Biden's priorities are certainly focused on lack of investment in workforce retraining, access to education and critical infrastructure, as well as tax code that favors shading workers. Next. Conclusion, China and US-China tension will likely get worse ahead of November election. That is merely because US President Donald Trump always blamed Beijing for the lack of transparency in the extent of COVID-19 outbreak, where the cases first reported. And worse still is Trump's positive COVID-19 test throws the country into fresh upheaval.
Very soon, sir. Okay,
Okay, next. US-China, of course, more tariff cannot be the answer amid to the pandemics. The brief detente of two superpowers enjoyed signing in January is actually disappeared. There was, although both countries are committing to this agreement, but so far there's been nothing fruitful. So the latest was that this agreement may actually begin in the year of 2021. And of course, China's commitment to purchase 200 billion of US product also did not materialize. Conclusion, also what we think will happen, more pain than gain. Of course, we found that the trade war had already cost US economy nearly 300,000 jobs, an estimate of 0.3% of GDP. And other reports estimated that trade war would cost US economy 360 billion by the end of 2020, while more recent research found that US companies at least 1.7 trillion in the price of stock as a result of US tariff imposition imports from China. Okay, next Q&A.
Okay, questions, sir. Right, now you all can unmute yourselves. Any questions? Anybody have questions? If you're asking questions, I'll give you additional mark also. Extra marks I'll give you if you ask questions. It means I know that you're listening and you're trying to analyze it. The purpose of presentation is basically you're listening to other people and you're able to ask questions, think, analyze, and see how somebody has done it. Maybe you can ask some questions on that. Right?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Who's that?
Yeah, I'm Chin here. Chin text you.
Yeah.
All the data presented just now, to me, is all purely on this something like economy. Is there any hidden agenda? This trade war. For example, I may think that is a strategy of Donald Trump for his presidency election coming soon. Is this his plan, or really because of the unfair economy in between China and US? This is my first question. The second question is, really anybody beneficial from this trade war? Just now we mentioned about Vietnam is the beneficial, but I also did the news. US, I think, imposed few 100% of a tariff on this steel import from Vietnam, because people misuse of Vietnam to export the steel to US. So that's why I don't think they get any benefit also. And to me, when the Asian country, when they depends on China. China make the finished product sell to US or sell to Europe. Where they get the parts, from maybe from the Southeast Asia, like Malaysia, like Thailand, like Singapore. But now China already now have the market, so they are going to reduce their purchase the parts from the Asian country. So are they really benefit from this trade war? That's my question. Thank you.
Yes, Arun.
Okay. To begin with, I think the first question.
Yes,
What
first you
Miss-
say, well, thank you for your question.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you for your question, Mr. Teck. I will answer. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there is 3 questions here.
Chin, right?
Mr. Teck Sui Chin.
Take care.
Actually, my surname is Chin.
Oh,
Oh,
Chin.
okay.
My
Sorry.
surname, Text you.
Chin Tech Chu lah.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Chin. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chin, for your questions. Okay. Basically, I think there is 3 questions here. Let me go one by one. The first question was any hidden agenda. Something which very difficult for us to conclude, because all the while Trump has always focused on the trade deficit, which is the main reason for the unfairness of trade, is the main reason for the trade war is all about. So of course there could be many reasons, which we think at the backhand, maybe US wants to cripple China because of their fast growing in their economy and so on. So these are something which he has not mentioned, but it could be all hidden agendas. But at the moment, what he has focused is the trade deficit, which is almost 300 billion. And now US owes China almost 1 trillion. So basically, that is what is telling that China is always raped US on this aspect. Okay, the next question of Vietnam. Vietnam, whether it benefited or not, by the statistics, their exports has increased tremendously, about 10-fold. I don't have these figures with me now, but there was also lots of foreign companies has shifted to Vietnam, because that is one of the countries which have very low manpower. I mean, what I mean is cost in manpower, and also vast land area where they can actually shift, and also a nearest place which they can go to compared to other countries. The third question, where whether Asian countries, where Mr. Chin mentioned that the parts are actually obtained from the Asian countries, but it's actually yes and no, because China has become one of the one of the main countries who produces all these parts, and their parts are very much more cheaper, and it can be obtained anywhere in this in this world. So much so these parts are very much cheaper. They are able to produce goods in bulk, and they are able to deliver it to all over the world, including US, whereby US imports are some 400 billion. Why they are importing so much? Because the parts are cheaper, the goods are cheaper. So indirectly has increased the imports, the exports from China to US. So I'm sure in other Asian countries, and also other Asian countries, they are not to that standard yet to come up with such parts. Maybe we are talking about raw materials like rubber, tin, maybe it's possible. But coming out with the processed parts, and also parts which can be used, it's of course it's from China. their, you can always get a, computer for very much cheaper price from China. Even including manufacturing, their cars are very much more cheaper. Everything is very much more cheaper compared to any other countries, including US.
So
So
Arun, you were saying that, I hope that answers your question.
yes, I hope Mr. Chin answers that question.
Thank you very much. Very good answer. Thank you.
Right. Okay, that's good. Any other questions quickly before we move on to the next thing? Okay, okay, the trade war is...
Mister,
Yeah.
I got some question for
Yeah.
Arul.
Yeah.
Mr. Arul, in your opinion, what can we gain from this of war?
Hello?
Hello.
Line interrupted. Come again, sir?
In your opinion, we as a Malaysian can gain from this threat of war?
Question is, who is that? Who is asking? I can't see.
My name is Azmi.
Azmi, is it? Okay. Azmi is asking who you think actually gained from the war, for this trade war. Malaysia, is it? Malaysia.
Yes, Malaysian, sir.
Thank you, Jasmine, for your question. So, in my opinion, I feel that in Malaysia, at the moment, by our present economic condition, we are not gaining anything, and I think we are more to lose than gaining anything, because most of the tariff imposed by US is indirectly across the world, even most of the imposing of their policies are on licensing. So even by imposing these licensing policies, not only China can sell anything to US, but also other countries, which actually gets the parts or goods from China sold to in US. So my opinion, I think we are not gaining anything in Malaysia.
Yeah, actually that is true, because the licensing, even though if I am a Malaysian company, I'm importing from China, I also cannot export to US, because I need to get a license from US. So that is the thing also they're restricting there. Okay? Now, anyway, there's a bigger challenge. All these are basically Huawei, a lot of things. So we can keep on talking about the trade war. Actually, so many things behind it. Right? Okay, so very good. I think.
Can I ask something?
Yeah. Yes. Subhash, is it?
Yeah. This pandemic COVID-19, is it part of, some are saying, is it part of this trade war, US-China trade war?
What is your question again? COVID, is it a part of the trade war or what?
Yes.
Part of the trade war. Okay. Yeah, Arun?
Thank you, Ms. Subhash, for your question. Okay, to our opinion, COVID is totally a different issue altogether. A pandemic which it actually existed from one of the states in China, and no one knows how it actually existed. This COVID-19 cannot be created, or it's something which some experts have always said that this virus cannot be created. It may existed and just came out by itself. Hope this answers your question, Ms. Subhash.
Okay.
And nobody knows what's happening. So many conspiracy theories are there on COVID.
Exactly.
They even say that it's all caused by
US.
This guy. What's his name? Bill Gates. Bill Gates also is involved in it. So many conspiracies there. So we really do not know what is the story behind the COVID. All right. Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you for your presentation. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Pointers, Okay. Like Arul, when you had good graphs, remember there's some graph there,
Yes.
Presenting, you need to refer to this and say, look at this graph, is it? And then you must say, okay, go back to your graph there. Okay, you look at this graph. This is not the graph.
Next one.
Okay, you look at this graph, when you talk about how China's stock market dropped, refer
Yes.
to the graph on the right. You see, if you look at it and see, you can say that you can show them like how it is dropped. From here to here it dropped like so much. You see, when the first major tariff was announced, immediately the S&P is a U.S. Stock market. You see the China stock market. See the gap there. It dropped. So because when you're presenting, sometimes it can become monotonous. People are listening to you; they can go and fall asleep. You see. So you need to put in things like this to attract them. Have a look at it. So when they're looking, their attention is diverted. So these are techniques when we use for presentation, right? Use all those visuals, effectively when you are doing a presentation. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
All of you all, So otherwise, it's okay, good, well researched, a lot of information. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
And yeah, so that is the thing. And then, okay, another thing just before I let you go, don't read from the slides too much. What you need to do is like for example here, the third point is a lot, suffered under tariff and all that, is it? So you don't have to read the whole thing. You just say that manufacturing has suffered. Farmers have suffered. Farmers, because why soybean export has been stopped by China, is it? So the soybean farmers in US are facing financial difficulties. Right? The manufacturer. So you don't have to read from it, but you have to read before you present. You already need to know what is it and talk just there, the points only. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's very important. Don't read from the slides; it will become very boring for people. Okay. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So Vicky, are you ready? Who else is in your team? Anybody else in your team today? Arun?
Azrul. Azura. Sorry, Azura.
Azura. Okay. All right. So you stop sharing and then let Starbucks team.
Okay, done.
Okay, my timekeeper, are you ready?
Okay, can everyone see the slide?
Hey?
No.
Hey, keep track of the time. Okay, all of you mute your mics, please.
Are you all able to see? No.
Yes, we can see your.
No.
Arun, you should exit the screen.
Yes. Have I exited?
Not yet, not yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now I can share.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, can you all see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Subhash. I'm from Vicky's team from JB, but I'm from Seremban branch. We would like to present on Starbucks expansion in Italy in 2018. Just to inform you all that some of our presenters are not available today. So we will just go through their slides roughly.
That's okay. No problem.
So Starbucks, it's mainly selling coffees. The first Starbucks store was opened in Seattle at 2000 Western Avenue, Washington on 31st March 1971. until 1976 actually, and moved to 1912 Pike Place. So during this time, the company only sold roasted whole coffee beans and did not brew coffee at that time. So during their first year of operation, they just purchased green coffee beans from Pete's. Pete's is an entrepreneur, coffee entrepreneur. Then began buying directly from growers. Okay. The next slide. Okay. First outlet was actually opened by three partners. By three partners. They were actually a former student of University of San Francisco. And now they are one of them are English teacher Jerry Baldwin, Zev Siegel, history teacher, and Gordon Bowker was a writer. I mentioned Alfred Peets earlier. Okay, he is a coffee roasting entrepreneur. Taught them his style of roasting coffee beans, and all together inspired that tree to sell high quality coffee beans and also his equipments. And all three actually brainstormed a list of words beginning with ST, which the writer Gordon Bowker thinks ST was something powerful to start with, and eventually had an eye on Starbo, a mining town in the Cascade Range. And then, however, from that Starbo, the tree remembered Starbuck. Starbuck was a name of a chief mate in the storybook Moby Dick. Actually, Moby Dick didn't have anything to do with Starbucks directly. It was just a coincidence, and the sounds seemed to make sense. Okay, and then the next slide. Okay, we'll talk about Starbucks in Italy. After 40 years, if I'm not mistaken, sorry if I'm wrong, after 40 years, Starbucks made an entry to Italy. They opened a roastery in Milan. It's an honor to the Italian espresso culture inspired by Howard Schultz, the CEO, to create a coffee experience. It has 2,300 square meter reserve roastery that exhibits the theater of coffee roasting, brewing, and mixing in the center of fashion and culture of Italy. The roastery is built with heritage and innovation in a main location against a background of stunning design. And if you can see at the pictures, the two pictures there, it's surrounded by immersive discovery. As customers enter into the building, if you can see on the top picture there, they are met with a jaw-dropping view covering every aspect of the roastery experience. Okay, and oops, hold on. Sorry. Okay. We'll talk about milestone of Starbucks. After Starbucks was handed over to Howard Schultz in 1987, he quickly began to expand the company outside of Seattle, which is in 1990. Opened in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Chicago, and then to California in 1990. The first Starbucks opened outside North America was in Tokyo, which is in 1996, July 1996. And then slowly expanded to other big countries, and finally at their 47th year, 47th year, the CEO made his entry to Milan, Italy, which is in 2018. Okay, these are Starbucks logos so far. As I mentioned in the third slide, they were just roasting and retailing whole bean and ground coffee, tea and spices in 1971. And you can see it in the first logo. This is the first logo, started by selling coffee beans in Seattle Pike Place Market. So the logo looks like this back in 1971. And after that, their logo was mostly inspired by the sea, featuring twin-tailed siren, a woman, or it's like a mermaid, who sings to mesmerize and attract sailors. It's from a Greek mythology. And so the Starbucks logo looks like this. And at this year, they added handcrafted espresso beverages to the menu. By 1986, the company operated 6 stores in Seattle and had added espresso coffee in their sales. In 1987, coffee outlets as Starbucks, the original owner sold the Starbucks chain to former manager Howard Chow, who rebranded his coffee outlet as Starbucks with a new look. And if you see this logo, it's created in September 1992. They became a publicly traded company whereby Starbucks share price had risen by 70% and increasing sales to 5 billion, and became a large player in fair trade coffee. And the fourth logo, this is the current logo, and they marked 40 years and began their next chapter in their history. So my part is for the background of Starbucks and the entry to Milan, and following will be presented by another presenter. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, guys. I'll be explaining about market entry strategies of Starbucks in Italy. First of all, they stimulate Italy's cold coffee revolution, which is like, okay, as we all know, Starbucks has bet heavily on cold coffee in other markets, and Italy is likely to be no different. When Starbucks start to expand their business in Italy, cold beverages is a concept that few Italians are likely to understand, and there have been no cold coffee sold yet in Italy. Actually, like half of 16 to 34-year-old Italian coffee drinkers are interested in trying cold coffee. So Starbucks use this as one of their market entry strategy, and followed by design an aperitivo menu. And this aperitivo menu, which means like it's also similar like Americans happy hour, but in reality it's much more than that. It's like a pre-meal drink specifically meant to whet your appetite. Yeah. So Starbucks designed an aperitivo menu to meet the needs of Italians while providing a novelty to travelers like familiar with the brand. Like we Malaysian, we go to Italy, then we will be understanding the meaning of this aperitivo menu. And more than that, they also equipped with bar with hundreds barista, and it also includes coffee infused with alcoholic drinks, which is most of Italians' favorites. And they also freshly roast their coffee bean in front of the customer and serve fresh. So Starbucks have almost like 115 types of menu for their drinks. Okay, followed by the transplant culturally United States stores. At least Starbucks transplant is like culturally United States stores as they did in Australia. At the moment of expanding business in Italy, Starbucks has only two options, which is either create a market for their weak coffee or to change their products to align with Italian expectations. So Starbucks weak milky coffee will be unsuccessful with native Italians who are accustomed to high quality, strong coffee. So maintaining the same products that Starbucks has in the other countries will only be successful with like tourists, like travelers, and it will cause Starbucks to miss out on a large portion of market in Italy. So like the result should determine that Starbucks has to adjust in some way to meet the Italian expectation, and so they did. So they adjust their menu to meet Italians' taste, and followed by launches ready to drink coffee. It's like it means like it is rare in Italy, like in their growing popularity. Like when you go in, your coffee will be ready, you'll grab it and go. It's like they have to wait for a while. But like Starbucks introduced this kind of method, like ready to drink coffee, to impress Italian. Where I watched the video, they showed like it almost took like 40 seconds for them to order, prepare, drink, and go. So it's like very quick process, which is mostly liked by all the Italians. So actually this RTD, which is ready to drink coffee methods, is the best idea implemented by Starbucks. It's like one of their best strategy implemented. And next slides. Okay, the location. Like this is Starbucks is the first and only outlet in Italy at the center of tourist attraction. It's just like 5 minutes walking distance from Duomo, Milano. So it's like everyone will know Starbucks, as it will be the most favorite, like most how to say, like very important place in Italy. So like everyone will sure will pass by or will be there to have their coffee break. And next one will be like enhanced services. Actually, Starbucks in Italy, they offer different concept than the local espresso bars. They will be like a step ahead. It will give customer their like enhanced like coffee experience. They have like more calm and relaxing seating area compared to the other local espresso, which like they have to standing there, grab and just go, this concept. So they introduce a new concept of like having a peaceful, like chatting kind of place in Starbucks with like best tables and chairs and everything. And last point will be like the partnership with local bakery. There's a bakery called Princi where they offer artisan breads, Italian pastries, pizzas, and also like I said, the aperitivo menu. So the partnership with this bakery and serve like local favorite foods, like pizza, bread, Italians like. So coffee, but it's also favorite foods. Yeah, with the next slide. Sure.
Sir, time's over, sir.
Okay, I give you 1-2 minutes to. Who's next?
Okay, let's continue with cultural and social challenges. Okay, like in Malaysia.
Wrap up this.
Yeah, I'll just wrap it up only. Okay, Italian culture is different from others. Like we drinking coffee as a first element to drink in the morning, and they having this drinking coffee as a very important part of their life. They need the coffee before start their day, and they need coffee place to chill out with their colleagues, their peoples around them, and also the barista. Next slide. Okay, as you can see, there are many baristas over here where they chit-chat, and those are the, what is this? Starbucks in Milan. Next slide. Okay, why the Starbucks people having difficulty in Italy? Because American style and Italian culture are totally different. In America, Starbucks is considered as fast food where you go and grab it and drink. But in Italy, it's slow because, as I mentioned before, because that is the place where you can interact with other people. And apart from that, the cup size also is different in two different places. I mean, America and all around the world, except Italy. Apart from that, the cafe structure also is different, but somehow our Starbucks in Italy is adapted to Italian culture to succeed it later on. Next slide.
This will be my part. Good day, everyone. Okay, as for the government tariff and policies challenges over in Italy, World Bank has claimed that Italy is a country with freedoms for business opportunity. Okay, in terms of their economic environment with stability on political and legal environment. And then on top of that, government has actually implemented attractive this tariff where overseas exports to Italy would only subjected to 3% of tariff. Okay, and with the benefits from euro currency overperforming the US dollar, this would actually benefit the US export to Italy against. And then Italian government has also implemented multiple initiatives, especially for improving the economic on the south part, because this south region is less prosperous with poverty rate of 3 times as compared to the north. So the government is actually emphasis the economic improvement on the south instead on the north. And then all foreign investors over in Italy, they are allowed to legitimately to own 100% of equity for the company. So this is very suitable for Starbucks because their main principle for Starbucks is to have a strong control on their overseas business. See? But however, Starbucks venture into Italy was made with a joint venture partnership with a local company which is named as Pecassis, because Italian national characters, they prefer to work with someone they're really familiar with. So Starbucks had no choice but to have this joint venture. Right. And then for mutual recognition agreement, this particular agreement was actually signed between US and the European Union way back in 2012. So this is to strengthen the relationship in between these two regions and facilitate trade operations between these two regions with simplified custom procedures in particulars. Right? And come to environmental issue. Okay, Italian environmental associations with very strong backup from their NGO, which is known as Greenpeace Italy and Zero Waste European, has actually urged Starbucks to serve their drinks in reusable mugs. So this is some challenge that this Starbucks is actually facing over in their cafe in Italy. Okay, pricey American coffee. They are currently selling at almost more than double the price as compared to the price in American in terms of the selling price. Next slide, please.
Okay, I will explain about the obstacles faced by Starbucks in Italy and the steps they took to overcome. First of all the Italians, they prefer espresso and not a normal cappuccino that we offered in Malaysia. And Starbucks is like offering many flavored milky drinks and also like cappuccinos, which is like almost not really accepted by Italians. So Starbucks have their roaster to serve fresh coffee, right? Like at the moment. And also, as I explained in my previous slides, they are using these like 40 seconds prepared drinks for Italians specifically to attract them. Next, they also like, as all of us know, as already mentioned by my another presenter, Starbucks is expensive than our normal local shops. So Starbucks, they have to lower their prices to make it almost affordable by everyone. Next slide. Okay, Italians like perception or like their points of interest about Starbucks is not positive. They are not really attracted to Starbucks because they already have their own interests or likes about the local baristas. So Starbucks, they upgrade their place for like business meetings, like a place where people will come for their convenient purpose to have a normal chit chat, to have a happy and ambient, like they have to improve their aesthetic value of the places where it will be like liked by all the Italians, all the people around the world. They have to be like very interested, convenient to use this place, and mainly focus on the Wi-Fi. The speed of the Wi-Fi should be super good so that people will be going there for the free Wi-Fi purpose. And next, the Italian consumer behavior and fierce competition. Competition is like the biggest obstacles in all markets and also in Starbucks. Like the other local coffee shops in Italy is really well doing, and when Starbucks like started their business in Italy, they are facing this main big problem competition where like everyone will be going to their normal regular shops and they will abandon these Starbucks. So they have to implement more strategies to attract the local people than their local baristas. Like they have to focus on the tourists also as well. Yeah, that's all.
Greetings, everyone. Talking about Italy, always make me remember about the movie Italian Job. I always dream that maybe I can get one of their container full with gold, so that I can, maybe I'm not no more sitting here enjoying this presentation. But ethnologically, for Starbucks entering Italy, more likely we can see a cowboy with a fully loaded revolvers entering a bar full with Italian armed with shotguns. So if you can imagine how Starbucks put a first step in Milan, have to face with all these Italian baristas, so they have to come up with something that can maybe competing the Italian quality of coffee making. So stepping in Italy is not actually a favor to the Italians. When the Americans stepping inside the Italy, really not a favor to the Italians, since the coffee is Italian itself, and Italian with coffee unable to be separate. It's been rooted in their cultures. They are having sip of coffee not because of other things, just to enjoy the barista. If like Malaysia, we can see the roti canai terbang or roti canai baling-baling. But in Italy, they are enjoying the coffee making with the baristas or their baristas. So Starbucks is not only is talking about coffee, the Italian for sure seems like they are offering better coffees compared to Starbucks. but Starbucks seems like having some value added, which is not only coffees they are selling their lifestyle. It's about status, about some symbol that making others or the drinker of the coffee seems like proud of, oh, now I'm having Starbucks. Huh? I went to Starbucks. So it's just about brand. They're talking about brand. In terms of pricing, for sure, as our colleague just explained, Starbucks selling double the price compared to Italian coffees. In terms of sizing, the Italian sells the same equal coffee to the customers, while Starbucks having various sizes of cups we sell. Okay, but Starbucks selling customer quickly, but for the Italian, it is their culture to having chit chat with their friends, having get along with the communities. The coffee make them equal to each others. So it is not about, they are not talking about style or anything. They just talk about friendship and equality. So, however, their first step.
Yeah, wrap up.
Their first. Okay. Yes. So the first step in Milan has made their expansion to another branches, which as at 2019. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. They already opened 6 branches. Started with the Piazza Cordioso at Milan. So what we can conclude here that the potential of Starbucks is collaborate with the Italian market, as we know that first step in their market, they are collaborating with Percassi, if I'm not mistaken. Percassi with the local businessmen there. So they will optimistically keep on expanding with current value added service in Starbucks branches, adapting to the Italian culture will be very much advantageous to the Starbucks and expanding more in future years. That's all, sir.
Okay, for the recommendation part, okay, there are a few recommendations which should be implemented by Starbucks. I'll just make it quick. So as we know that Starbucks, like they have to improve their connection to their local customers, where they have to introduce like some products that achieve to the local taste. They also like must sell a coffee or the products better than their local Italian versions, and they also have to have a target audience where like this age range to this age range of people to attract and must target them. And the last one will be like they have to adapt to the Italian trades and brands. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
And yeah, we will like to wrap up everything. So in conclusion, Starbucks has maintained a competitive place in this business world, and they have to make some alteration or like some things they have to adapt to improve their business, which as we already explained. So that's all from us, from our Starbucks groups, and thank you so much.
Okay. Any questions? Quick. We don't have much time for questions. Maybe one quick question. Anybody want to ask a question?
Yes, sir. Arul here, Raj. Can I ask this one question?
Yeah.
Hello, Starbucks Group. Which Southeast Asian country has the most Starbucks outlets, and why?
Vicky?
Good question, Mr. Arul.
Thank you.
However, at this moment, if say that I can be on behalf of the group, we don't have details
Thank you for your
on
question.
the
So
figures.
ask us answer that.
Yeah. What's happening? Oh, is it Najib? Is it? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
So at the moment, we trust that at the, we don't have the figures, but maybe we can come back to you later, Mr. Arul.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, maybe I can help him.
Thank
As we
you.
all know, like the United States and China, like they came top in the ranking of countries where they have largest number of Starbucks stores. As in this calculation is as of September 2019, as we googled. Hope I answered your question, Mr.
Which country, Shamila?
They mentioned that it's United States and China.
No, I mean he's talking about Asia.
Oh, Asia. Oh, sorry.
Google Asia. Which one is it?
Or,
ASEAN or Asia? Is it?
more precisely, Asian, Southeast Asian.
Southeast Asia, like.
More
Asian.
precisely.
So coffee could be maybe Vietnam, Indonesia. Maybe I go to Indonesia. I see so many Starbucks everywhere. You know, all over the place. Is it? I tell
Yes,
you,
that's right.
people
That's
are
right.
crazy for Starbucks.
Can you say Philippines?
No, sir is correct. Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Indonesians, they are crazy of coffee, Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, they're crazy for Starbucks.
Sorry, I thought it's Singapore. But actually, I just guess only because I thought Singapore the lifestyle is like American. They got a lot of these tourists, what we call the expatriate from all over the world working in Singapore. So I thought it's Singapore, but I'm wrong.
Because Singapore, I think not
No,
many. Singapore, of course, maybe the demand is there, but the thing is that it's smaller. So I think they have lesser number of outlets.
Yeah,
Okay.
Singapore has only 141 numbers of outlets, but as Sir said, like Indonesia has almost 378 numbers of outlets.
Oh.
And the second will be Philippines, which 364 numbers.
Philippines.
Yeah, Philippines got 364 numbers, but the first one will be Indonesia with 378 numbers.
So the coffee culture is definitely growing now. Okay, okay. Let me just briefly, what do you call this? Okay, overall good. You know, you'll need a good presentation. And in fact, all of you presented. That is very good. Okay.
Thank you.
Now the contents was there, but the one concern that I have is many of you were repeating the same thing. You know, okay, like Najib was repeating what Shamila told about the challenges again. Like, you know, remember he talked about 40-second coffee thing and all that, right? Isn't it? So you should not repeat it again because each one has got your own part. Sharma, you're talking about the challenges, right? Isn't it? And then who was talking about Subhash? Is it talking about the what background of the company? Is it you? Yeah.
Yes.
So the background of the company, Subhash, you spend too much time on the background of the company. Is it? You should rest. Maybe one slide is good enough already. You were explaining about who are the partners and all that, which is not relevant. Those guys who started off no more already. They're not involved in the thing. So that's not important. What is important is Howard Schultz. He's the one who maybe make it interesting. So we are interested basically, you must know what is the subject. Subject is the challenges they face and how they overcome it. Okay, so next time when you do presentation, don't spend too much time on the part that is not so relevant, you know, because people are wanting to know what is the important thing, and then presentation should be short. Now, when you all do presentation next time, you know, what I want you to do is run through that, whether it fits in the 10 minutes or not. Okay, so that's very important, is it? That means you do a dry run. You understand what I mean? That means, for example, every one of you, maybe, of course, now Zoom is a bit difficult, but if let's say in a real situation, all of you sit down and say, okay, you do your part, see how long it takes. Okay, I do my part, how long it takes. So time it and see whether it comes to 10 minutes. That's very important, is it? So this is what I will do. So the leader actually is very important. You have to go through the thing and say, okay, how long your part take place? If you cannot then ask them to tell you, like, okay, your part, how long is it take? you add up and say, hey, too much, like, can we cut down? Who can cut down that, So you need to do that kind of a practice, right? So presentation is very important because that's where the impact is, like, right? Okay, so adjust your timing in such a way, all right? So that's all. Other than that, I think good job. Every one of you participated in it, like, right? So I think it's very good, right? And in fact, when I last did this, Starbucks only had one branch. I think now they have 6 branches in Italy, right?
In Italy, yes.
Yes, correct.
Learn and change. So it's a good company to learn from because they are very good in clever in the way they change and they overcome the challenges. So they know these are the challenges they had. They learn from Australia, they learn from a few other countries, and now in Italy they learn and then they improve. Okay, so now next they're going to be even more successful or not. All right. Okay, good job. All right. The next group, Wichin.
Mr. Franklin,
Yeah, yes.
can I have your permissions to excuse myself for half an hour? I have a short meeting. Short
Okay.
meeting to attend to. I will still be connecting to the Zoom.
Okay.
I will be away for half an hour. I'll come back.
No problem.
Right. So can I have someone to help me to overlook the time, please?
The time. Who can take over the timing? Arul, take the time. 10 minutes, huh?
Yes, sure,
So
sir.
I'll be
No
back
problem.
another 30 minutes, something like that. Right.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
Busy man, Sunday.
So Nike will do the Sunday also busy, sir. Everyone.
Yeah, all of you are busy, especially those in banking line also is busy now, because of the moratorium, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go back late last month.
Oh, Veni, is it?
Yes, sir.
Veni, you're in bank also.
Yeah, Maybank.
Oh, Maybank, yeah. Okay, yeah. I think every night, coming back late, because of the moratorium and all that, right? And they're doing some exhibitions.
Yes, we
last. Exhibitions, right?
that one I'm not sure, sir, because I'm a branch level. Mine's just back office. So
Head office, like.
yes.
Yeah, Wichin, are you setting up? No?
That's next. So I just press the share to share the slide, right?
Yes.
All right, give me some time.
Okay, take your time, right? Your team is here?
Yeah.
Anybody from Sabah?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. How is the situation there?
Quite challenging.
You're from which part? Ada tu area or what?
I'm in Kinabatangan. Same as Afiq.
Yeah, so that's quite bad. You all have to be very careful.
This morning we have the swab test.
Oh, this morning, is it?
Yeah, including me actually. We are quarantined now.
Oh, okay. So you're quarantined.
Later from second end, I have to be quarantined.
Oh, seriously. So you're in which industry? You're in the palm oil?
Yeah, I'm in oil palm.
Oil palm lah. Right. Okay. Why is it that Sabah has so many? Suddenly it was spike.
Maybe sensitive to talk. Actually, it started from.
No, it's not sensitive. We want to know actually.
It's from the illegal what we call illegal
workers and immigrants lah.
They came in from this what we call Jalan Tikus. Then all this one all spread from the what we call Benteng, Dahadatu, then go out already. Then they come to the election.
And all that they got back door to come inside, is it?
So
So
I wonder my group member can open the slide because I've sent to the group, but I couldn't share from here.
Oh, okay. Anybody can share actually, no problem.
So Nike, what's the Nike expansion?
Nike what?
No, my slides sharing.
Your slide,
after we are number 4, is it?
Yeah, number 4. If you want, you can come up to 3 if you want, up to you.
No, then now who's going to share it?
Wichin, are you ready or you want somebody else to go first?
Yeah, somebody can, a group member.
No,
you guys there?
Let me share ours first, sir.
Let Benny share first, then you share yours. Is that okay?
All right.
Okay. All right. Benny, you can go first.
All right.
Nike. Okay, so let's have Nike.
Yeah, so wait 1 second, please. 1 second, please. How to share my slides in the desktop? Desktop. Wait,
Yeah. So I think a line will be bad for everybody. Yeah.
Yep. I have question. How to share my.
You go to share screen.
Okay, done ready. Done ready. Okay, it's my bad. Okay, all right. 1 second, sir. 1 second.
Yeah, the Nike presentation.
Oh, so Nike will present first, right?
Ah, yeah. Let them present first, lah. Until you all get the things ready.
All right. All right. Okay. Hi. Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay,
It's
we
raining
can't see
here.
you can't see anything yet. Can you double click on Nike?
Can you double? You are screen sharing.
We can't see it. You only can see your folder only where you have
Yes.
Nike presentation.
I already opened. I already begin the.
Okay, what do? You go back and go back to your share screen and then share again.
Share your screen. Okay, 1 second, sir.
You go there and go to the where the presentation is open up. You can see different screens. See the one that is the Nike, the presentation open up. Click. Okay, good. Now can see.
Can you share it? Can you see it?
Yes, now we can see. All right.
All right.
Okay, others all mute.
Hi, everyone. Okay. All right. Give me 1 minute, sir. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So my team is going to do the slides for Nike's expansion and challenges in China. This is our group. Our group name is Phoenix Team. We 8 of us. So you can see our 8 members name here. All right. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is an overview of presentation about Nike, market entry strategy to China, strategy option, challenges faced by Nike in China, marketing strategy, steps taken to overcome the challenges, suggestion, which is, we're going to give a suggestion to the world, lessons learned from Nike expansion in China. Okay, now see about, okay, we all know, everybody know Nike is a worldwide products producing sports equipments and everything. Okay, this is Nike. Nike Incorporated is an American multinational corporate that is engaged in the design, development, and worldwide marketing and sales of footwear, apparel, equipment, accessories, and services. Okay. The company was founded on January 25th, 1964 as Blue Ribbon Sports, BRS, by Bill Bowerman and Phil Knight, and officially became Nike Incorporated on May 30th, 1971. The company is headquartered near Beaverton, Oregon in the Portland metropolitan area. It is a world largest supplier of athletic shoes and apparel and a major manufacturer of sports equipment. As of 2017, the Nike brand is valued at 29.6 billion. Okay, this is swoosh, sir, I think. All right. Okay. Okay, this is the Nike logo. This Nike logo. Today it's switch. Blue Ribbon Sports primarily imported Onitsuka Tiger brand shoes from Japan from 1964. Philip Knight decided to launch his new running shoes from Japan. Okay, new brand of shoe with a factory ready in Mexico. He approached Caroline Davidson for a logo which conveyed motion and does not look similar to Adidas. She was paid. Caroline Davidson is actually student of university in Portland. She created this Nike logo, which is not similar to any other footwear. She was paid $2 per hour for her efforts and finally received $35 after Nike agreed with the logo for working 17.5 hours.
Don't spend too much time on the background.
Yeah. Today it's okay. This is our new Nike logo, and this Nike logo, brand logos in the world, and the most valuable, having a worth of 26 billion alone. Okay, facts about Nike. The name Nike comes from the Greek goddess of victory and it's pronounced Nike. The goddess was an inspiration to Greek warriors. When the warrior won the war, they used to say Nike to each others. Okay, this is Nike product line and product depth. Nike footwear, their football, running, cricket, basketballs. Sportswear, the t-shirts, hoodies, tracksuit, track jacket, tops and shorts. And sports equipment, you have basketball, football, golf and equipment. Body care, you have Dior, and accessories, you can see bags, backpacks, sunglasses and gloves. The market entry strategy to the host country. Why China? China is fastest growing economy. Why China? China is a fast growing economy. 1970s manufacturing. Okay, this 1 second, sir. Become a global manufacturing hub, offered opportunities on talented workforce and low wages. Political change plan to double the country GDP. American streetball culture in the country. In 1981, build a sporting culture in the country. Opportunities with the growing middle class population. This is a continuation of the entry strategy to the host country. The entry of Nike into the China market is based on the fact that China is low-cost country. Year 2012, actually Nike is not produce your own, they're opening a new company in China. Actually, they are collaborate with another company, year 2012, Good Baby Group, China's top manufacturer and retailer of baby care products, and announced an online retail partnership with the Nike Incorporated as part of its effort so that they're able to win more brand recognition. Nike has been working with manufacturers in China for about 20 years. The employees and factories produce a lot of Nike's most highest performance athlete products. China represents the largest sourcing country for Nike with roughly 180 contract manufacturers employing more than 210,000 workers. Right. Okay, next I pass to my friend, my team member, Ida. Can you continue?
Hi, I'm Ida. So I'm going to continue the presentation. So Nike's strategic option in China, because why China is one of the major fastest growing markets in the world, and I think the most popular markets for foreign entrants as well. So secondly, China was also chosen because of the domestic market size. Population of China itself is already 18.47% from the world population, so that's why. And that makes of one of every 3 pairs of Nike shoes they sell in the world is made in China as well. So Nike was taken these advantages to tap into the large market it offers, so that's why
connect to the retailers, the biggest retail in China for it. And in other words, which help to stiffen the company's foundation in its industry. So the fact of lowering cost is to achieve profit maximization. So in China, technically Nike is not focusing on the amount of profit that they got from one pair of shoe sale, but they focus on the volume of the sales. So, and then China as a, okay. The challenges faced by Nike to enter the China market. The first one is the culture, of course. Apparel industry is struggling, and consumers, for the most part, don't want to spend money on apparel. So, because China, I think we all know that like to copy paste from those other famous brand. So that's why they're willing to spend more on getting those not original brand. And then Nike's training and running categories haven't received much traction in China because health clubs are traditionally seen as activities for rich people in the region back then. So a culture of biking to work exists in China, but people do mostly in in street clothes instead of spandex. So Nike's branding is based on encouraging strong identification with iconic sport stars. Okay, next. So the second one is the competition. Adidas, they positioning itself as a more youthful and fashionable brand. The second competitors is Lululemon and Athletica Canada Inc. and Under Armour, which they position themselves in niche segments such as yoga, sportswear, and performance wear. So this increased competition Nike faces from rivals Adidas and Under Armour. So the third point is the legal side. Nike has found falsified documents, underage workers, and unpaid wages as suppliers in China. So Nike has stopped selling some products in China after a fashion designer support for protests in Hong Kong sparked a social media backlash. So the fourth challenges is the government policies. Poor performance in Japan and economy riddled with an aging population, slumping economy, and a weak currency. Failure to capture the growth in Chinese athletic apparel and footwear market. Because I think most of the youngsters in China, they rather go to other country to get more knowledge. So marketing strategy by Nike in China. The first one, they open a specialized store to segment its operation by they focusing on skiing and snowboarding and made of 100% recyclable material, which they first launched in Shanghai. So the second one is sponsor relevant events or organization that related to education because they are targeting to youngsters. And then the third one is target relevant cities depending on culture. Like for example, Xiamen, they boost matured commercial environment. So and then the fourth one is they focus on sport culture design and advertisement. For example, like basketball, because I think China, they are more specialized in basketball. So the last one, they joined the biggest sneaker exhibition of the world. The first one is held in Shanghai. So that is how they promote their brand. So next slide. Steps that Nike took to overcome the obstacle. As mentioned, they opened a store in Shanghai to sell skateboarding and snowboarding equipment, which is this store, right, is the first house of innovation that Nike designed. So I will share with you the design of the store later. So the second one, they organize events to popularize the store. And then the third one, they increase partnerships with government to develop schools, athletic programs, and expand rugby clubs to universities. And the last one, they hold special training classes targeting female consumers in gym in 7 cities. Next step. So the key of success for Nike in China is digital strategy. First, they segment the users to create different communities and provide diverse online services and offline experience. So instead of having the offline store, they also expand a lot in terms of digitalization, which they not only focusing on their own website platform, they also liaise with, I think, with a lot of China's famous marketing company and also WeChat to ensure that their platform are bigger. So because sometimes most of the I think the China citizen, they don't actually go into Nike's platform to source for the product that they want. So instead, Nike do it differently. They do it to so they also approach the community via WeChat and also some other marketing platform. Then for brand marketing and promotion, Nike integrates the resources such as retail terminal and digital platforms. Nike is creating its brand ecosystem, which covers consumer insight, products innovation, customer experience, and value creation. So this all you can see in the video that I will share it later. So next slide. So our team suggestion for Nike is for Nike to boost the Nike aura and identity significantly. So Nike maybe can move to create new designs and colors shoes for fashion industry, because we believe that in China they are crazy for fashion. So they want to be like, I think China and Korea, they are competing in terms of which fashion street is better. So I think Nike has to go deep into that. Okay, so next step. So lesson learned from this case study is the use of digital channels such as activity apps, social media, and the growth of e-commerce through digital marketing, which engage with consumer, will encourage them to stay, especially in this current situation. And so before the Q&A, I think Vinny can help me to share the video of their store.
Wait 1 second. Give me a minute, please. How to share it?
Hey, the video, is it in the PowerPoint or somewhere
It's
else?
my WhatsApp, sir. How to share the video, sir?
Oh, there your WhatsApp.
Oh, you need to open the video first.
Yeah,
I think it's YouTube.
using your WhatsApp, they typically share, right? You have to put it into your computer and share. La. WhatsApp, you got to download it.
Or maybe I can share it from my side.
You can share it your side, right?
Yeah.
Can.
Can you share?
Let me try. Because it's very interesting, I just would like to share to everyone.
If you have it downloaded already, the video is downloaded.
Yeah, sir.
You can play immediately.
Can play.
How to take over the screen?
You can go to share screen. Go down to the thing.
I did. So there's a 3 option here.
You must use computer sound, you know.
Oh, okay.
When you
yeah.
you
Okay.
use computer sound, otherwise you can't hear.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Nice.
Oh, okay, let's just start.
We don't hear any sound, you know.
Yeah, the
Because
sound
you
is
must
not
use
there,
the
Adi.
computer, you must use the audio, use the computer sound, you must say. And you go to the sharing thing, you use the computer sound.
Can you do it, Ida? Mr. Ida?
Okay.
Okay, so that's it.
Done.
Okay. Any
Okay.
question?
Questions?
Excuse me, sir. Hello, good evening.
Yes,
Yes,
Khairul.
yes.
Okay, I would like to ask one question regarding the competition between uh, uh, any brand with Nike, but I'm most interested with the what we call illegal manufacture in China. So how Nike China overcome or facing the problem?
Okay, good question.
Thank you, sir.
I think that was a challenge also, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yep.
Did you? I don't know whether you mentioned it. Did you mention that challenge?
Okay, it's a good question. Well, okay. We didn't actually did some research on that. Well, we might do it later and get back to you on it. But we assume that at this moment, from our understanding, is how they overcome the issue is I think Nike HQ, they realign back with the retailers that they have in China, Nike China. So and then of course they deep dive into the issue, and then of course I think they terminate those who is involved with the misusage of power, I guess, and they restructure all the management in China. That is what we assume at this moment. But we will do more research into it and get back to you if you don't mind.
Yeah, I think that's good. Maybe you can add that in your note, into your slides as well, as a one challenge they face and how did they overcome it, lah.
All right, sir. All right.
Very good. Any other
Okay,
question?
all right.
Any other question? Chin?
Yes,
Any questions?
not from my side.
Fix you?
Not in the moment, sir.
Nothing, lah. Nobody is
Sir,
asking.
can I try to share the screen now?
Wait, let's just finish the thing first, lah. Okay, if no questions, then I think, okay, that's good.
I wanted to try.
Anybody want to, any question?
No, sir.
No
Can
question.
I ask one question, sir?
Yeah, can, Arul. Yeah.
I must ask question.
No, this question basically related to the earlier Encik Khairul Man mentioned lah. The concern part is the counterfeit products. Where beginning of the year, where US accused China of exporting about 2.0 million of counterfeit Nike products to US. So I'm not sure China has taken any stand on this or any action plan on this. That's all.
Sorry. Can you repeat your question again?
Can hear now? It's basically on the counterfeit products which China exported to US, almost 2.2 million beginning of the year. Nike products. Do you all have any, can you all elaborate more on that?
Okay.
I think
Is
this
it in our
You
slide?
have to research first
it's
before you
related to
mention.
the earlier question lah by
Let
Encik Kai.
us
Ah,
research first, then
It's not
come
in the
back to you.
slides. I think you need to add that.
Ida got any idea?
yeah. Okay. It's a great question. It's just that we don't have the information. As I just said just now, maybe we can just deep dive into the issue and then get back on the questions.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
That's
thank
good.
you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Overall, good. You know, your presentation was good, but yeah, I think more or less it's okay. Like you have done some research. You added in. I also did some changes to your slides also. Like some changes I made also, and it's a bit better now. Like how you presented. Like good. Your presentation styles also is good. You know, I like the way you all are.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
With confidence. When you speak, you must speak with confidence. Like
All right.
you know, like if you really don't know, you say thank you for the question. We will get back to you on it. Like so this is what normal professionals do. Also. When we do consulting with companies, I also use the same method. Also, not everything we will know, but we can always get back to them on that. Like so that's how it is.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. All right. So I hope you all, as it when next time your presentation become better, you become more professional in the way you talk, and when you communicate, when you're speaking, that you got to be more professional. All right. Then another thing I would like to say is information with graphs would have been good also. Like for example, I want to know what is in China, what is your market share now? Okay, you don't have that information. I will need that also. Like, what's the market share compared to Adidas, Under Armour, and even the local Chinese brands who are also coming up. Local Chinese brands also like Li-Ning. Remember the one Li-Ning? That was quite a thing. So you need to add that also inside. Right, the challenges that they face.
All right,
All right.
sir.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Thanks.
Good job. You just add
Thanks,
those.
sir. Thank you.
And I think that's good. All right. Okay, let's move on to Wichin.
Thank you,
good?
sir.
I will try to share the screen now.
Okay.
Okay, permit. Right.
So
Can you see my screen now?
Can. Since you're the last, I think you can ask a lot of questions.
All right, current page. Is my screen clear?
Yes, we can see.
All right, so our topic from this group, Kajang and Lahat Datu team, our topic is eBay entry into China. Pardon? Can I proceed?
Yeah, you can put. Others mute your. Yeah, you can proceed, Wichin.
Sure. Okay. So our team members are 9 members, both from Kajang and Lahat Datu team. Okay, so as you can see from this list, number 1 to 9, the slide that we did are according to this sequence. So the first one will be by Mr. Chua, then next will be Sulaiman, then by me next, according to the slide topic. So we will ask Mr. Chua Hoi Hong, and you can see his name on this. He will be talking on the brief background of eBay.
Yes.
Are you there? Okay.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all of you. Today, I will present the first slide of the eBay entry to the China. As we all know, eBay is an American multinational e-commerce operation. It's based in San Jose, California. It facilitated consumer to consumer and business to consumer sales through its website. eBay was founded by the Pierre Omier in 1995. In 1998, Pierre and his co-founder, Jeff Skoll, brought in Matt Whitman to sustain the success. Matt Whitman had studied at the Harvard Business School and had learned the importance of branding at a company such as Hasbro. eBay has built an online person-to-person training community on the internet using the World Wide Web. Buyer and seller are brought together in the manner where sellers are permitted to list items for sales. buyer to bid on item of interest and all eBay users to browse through listed item in a fully automated way. The items are arranged by topic, where each type of auction has its own category. With this kind of the facility and trend, eBay became a notable success story of the .com bubble. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Then next slide will be by Simon. He will be talking about marketing strategy of eBay used to enter into China. Oh, pardon, because I have misplaced. This should be by me. This should be the number 4, but okay, I will be doing this presentation. So these are the marketing strategy that eBay used to enter into China. So you can see first is acquisition. What acquisition means is in cooperations of one firm into another through purchase, like helping organization to expand its product and services. For information, eBay entered China market in 2002. And these are the strategies that he used. Acquisitions, that it means that it cooperates with other industry players to merge the force together. So it will have these two effects. It will merge with other players like related or unrelated business just to expand its force. Then this is the benefits of this acquisition that you can see after eBay apply is that you can see observe improve in category growth. You will see like increase in number and size of categories that you can find in eBay. Example, like the category of antique, arts, books, business, industrial, such as things like that. Also, it will improve formats for interaction. So it allows the seller to display the product. So more of the buyers can go and see, oh, this is how eBay, presents to all the buyers and all that. So you can see that not only all this way that it does, such as other company like Mobile.d in German, Marketplace, HL in Netherlands, then Rent.com also, did these acquisitions with eBay, so that in this eBay expands on online housing rental category and so on, shopping.com, so that eBay have this own comparison marketplace and such. So you see the business expand through that. Okay, not only that, it also have the strategic alliance. It practice this strategic alliance with joint venture partner like Tom Online and Yahoo, because the competitors like Google's are quite strong, that it considers like our rivals. So it make this strategic alliance with joint ventures like Tom Online and competitors like Yahoo's to fight the Google. And not only that, because for information that eBay do C2C, customer to customer service. But in addition to that, eBay is also do developments on business to customer. In addition to this C2C, so that it can generate revenues through the fees from the PayPal and Skype, where the transactions ongoing. So these are basically the marketing strategies that eBay used to enter into China. So the next slide will be Sulaiman.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, the next slide is the strategic options that can be used. Number 1 is international strategy. Number 2 is the global strategy. Number 3 is the multi-domestic strategy. And number 4 is the transnational strategy. Okay. In number 1, international strategy is creating the value in global markets. International expansion is a viable diversification strategy. However, before pursuing this, a firm needs to determine why an industry in a given country is more or less successful than the same industry in another country. Okay. In Asia Pacific, eBay's management risk might have included the language and the culture, the managing employees, managing technical processes, and handling customer preferences. But eBay followed a global strategy. There are advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is of global strategy included a unified approach that allowed users to conduct transactions in an online global community. The disadvantages were evident by eBay's inability to truly meet specific local business needs. Okay, eBay's decision to use a single platform to provide online trading in all its market has been successful in most of its global communities. While the transnational strategy, where the company could provide a standard product and meet specific local needs, would be optimal strategy for eBay to adopt for competing in the Asia Pacific region. A transnational approach would instill consistency across eBay's global platform and at the same time provide flexibility when entering new markets. A transnational approach will also allow eBay to retain central control in the US and enable local management in each of its markets. It would therefore allow eBay to share knowledge among its various worldwide holdings. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So next slide will be by Tom Pratt. We'll be talking about challenges faced by organization. Hi, Mr. Tom Pratt, are you here?
Good day, everyone. The challenges of organization face in entry to the international market. I'm here.
Okay.
The culture after the acquisition, eBay founder Paul Xiao retired from the daily business. Then the eBay China and sent some foreigners from the Germany, South Korea, and Taiwan, and the United States to manage the eBay China business. The general manager from eBay, of eBay China business.
Hello. I think Mr. Tom Pratt connection a bit unstable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can continue.
I proceed to the next slide, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Just briefly tell about it because the key thing is the challenges, is it? Like we said,
Oh, okay.
language, just a point only. You don't need to dwell too long in it.
All right. So as you can see from these 5 points, there is 5 challenges that they meet. First is the culture. Okay. From the mention is that they do not understand the Chinese culture, so it cannot make the eBay suitable for China. Then the language, also the second reason. Then because the China characters are double byte, and also their platforms support different kinds of systems. So eBay Global Network cannot support such systems. So integration fail. So causing the user have to abandon eBay. Then competition, as everybody knows, especially girls, everybody knows Taobao, where things are cheap and all that. So eBay is going to be facing the biggest threat with Taobao because it's a subsidiary of Alibaba. Okay. As you can see here, Taobao market increased total of 60% in comparisons to EachNet, which is by eBay, that has a market share of 29% only. Then tariffs are tax. The government will see increase in revenue when imports enter domestic market. So this causes barriers of company, consumers, and government. In this, in short term, then the prices increases, causes reduced consumptions by individuals consumers and business as well. So these tariffs also affect eBay business. Then technologicals as well. As you can see, it's explained here. Data may move to US, and then every time Chinese user log in, then it's again log into Chinese network, then enter US headquarter database, and then back to China. And all these technological problems also causes problems and all that. So these are the challenges faced by eBay. So without wasting time, I'll proceed to the next slide by Azmi. He's going to speak on marketing strategy. Azmi, please.
Okay. Go to the next slide. As been known, for eBay marketing strategy, there are 4 types of strategy that been used by eBay. One of them is, we can call it, all 4 of them is 4P, which is product strategy, pricing strategy, place and distribution strategy, and also the promotion and advertisement strategy. For advertisement strategy, they are using online portals such as Sina, Soho, and NetEase to advertise their product. Second one is product strategy. As we all know, eBay is one of the online platform. eBay is a product itself, so they are using the auction model to selling their product. Third one is the pricing strategy regarding the type of payment. During the early stage, they are using a conventional method of payment such as check, postal order, and credit card.
Okay.
That's all.
Next will be presented by Bruno. He's going to speak more on steps to overcome obstacles. Bruno?
Hello?
Yeah,
Okay.
Bruno, this is your slide.
The step that the eBay took to overcome the obstacle is, one is eBay signed exclusive advertising, right, with major online portals such as Sina, Soho, and NetEase, with the intention for blocking all the advertisement from Tabu. eBay spent around 100 million, mainly on advertisement in buses, subway, platform, and taxis, so that the eBay advertisement can be shown all over the China market. Okay, the number 2 is, during 2005, eBay acquired Skype to expand into the online communication sector, while eBay was the wholly owned subsidiary of eBay globally, operated directly in China via joint venture with the Tom Online. Okay, number 3, partnering with a local Chinese brand with strong name as method of entry. So by joint venture with local Chinese market, eBay acquired Ishnet, China most dominant acquisition player, so that they can enter the China market easily. I think that's all for me. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Then the next slide is by Dexiu. He's going to say whether eBay is successful or eBay has exit China market.
Good afternoon, everybody. Actually, eBay out from China. Okay, they are not success. In year 2004, eBay decided to move their platform out from China and go back to US, control from US. So it means the information actually is between China, because this China market is between China, but it became the traffic across the borders already, and also across the Pacific Ocean. And it was about 15 years ago, 16 years ago. At that time, the infrastructure, the internet infrastructure is not as good as today. So actually, the day when they shift up to China, shift up to US, the traffic actually already slowed down already. So that one will make the users very frustrated, because the government of Chinese also, they block for what we call information or any traffic which they are not approved. So this one made the business become not so easy. And all control from the HQ, the local team in China cannot do much. They take long time to amend anything in their local, what we call problem. So in just 2 years later, 2005, they cannot reclaim the China market share. And after that, they have to shell their operations to Tom Online in year 2006. So when the time they exit the China market, they actually already invest about 300 million USD. But at the end, they have to out from China market. That's my presentation for my group.
Oh, thank you. So at the end of the day, eBay exit China market because it's not success. So Shafiq, these suggestions are done by Shafiq, but unfortunately Shafiq cannot make it due to there is some affected COVID case in his area. So I will help him to do some presentation. Okay, so Shafiq's suggestion is use transnational strategy instead of global strategy, because eBay actually used a global strategy to enter into China. So below, I believe it's quite wordy, his slides, but he's trying to explain all the reason of why transnational strategy is used is better. So for one reason, transnational strategy, it can meet up with the local needs. So it will be a good strategy for eBay to adapt. Then it could achieve this by local acquisitions, and it will be benefits by tailoring according to the local. Second things, if you use transnational strategy, it will allow eBay to sustain costs while meeting specific market needs. Then number three, it could instill the consistency across eBay global platform, not like what I mentioned before, that the HQ is in US, then whenever a Chinese user log in, then the data transfer to US and such technological issue. Then there are a few reasons which Shafiq included in his slide. Number 4, transnational approach also allow eBay to retain central control in the US. So it will help the local management in the market. So I believe these are the modes that you can use for international expansion, like exporting, licensing, franchising, strategic alliance, joint venture. And all these are the points that he's trying to say. International expansions include alliance, joint ventures, and wholly owned subsidiaries. Like it was mentioned before, eBay joint venture with Tom Online that provide local expertise and all that. Then number 7. I would just say that eBay investment in communication companies such as Skype and Tom Online also raised questions regarding the company's strategic move and whether or not it was deviating from its overall strategy. So I believe these are actually trying to just say that using transnational strategies are going to help eBay to complete transactions more quickly. Then the last slide, number 8, is that, for example, eBay decisions to buy a joint venture stake in South Korea G market is also a similar strategies that to broaden eBay's market coverage. So this kind of thing also can apply in China as well, but unfortunately, eBay didn't do so. Instead, eBay used another strategy. And before I proceed, I would like to apologize for my cat. Next. The conclusion, I'll leave it to Brother Kairuman to complete the presentation.
Okay, thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Okay, currently we know that eBay is not operating in China, and it may never come back to the country as well. If you type in Google, there is no eBay China URL because they do not have a presence in China. So, in generally, we got 3 lessons learned from the failure in eBay China. First, we have to recognize the Chinese market and the business environment. Okay, the core mistake eBay made was forcing their global strategy onto a yet undeveloped China market. So, if we saw at the earlier slide, we know that the top management team didn't understand the local market. They are spending a lot of money doing the wrong thing and advertising. You know that there is no small business using internet, even in entire Asia for that time lah. But now different lah. People change. We are moving more advanced, and there is new normal norm for using internet for small business. So eBay run the Chinese operation from the US, and we know that they had poor customer service. They are only focused on auction, while the customer want the fixed price sales, and they did not much else than translate their global website to Chinese. And you know that what eBay do? They send a German managers to lead the Chinese market, Chinese operation, and a chief technology officer from the United States. And both of them cannot speak Chinese or understood the local market. So that one the big eBay mistake. So the second lesson we can learn is method of advertising rules and regulation and approach of the customer are totally different. Chinese policy prefer local company. So we don't be afraid to ask for help lah. How much easier if we can work closely with Chinese employee and small business to set up the shop. So make sure we understand the basic of the business in the country and prepare our policies. Okay, number 3 is about the customer taste and preference. Okay, eBay stuck to the global platform, which again did not fit the local customers' taste and preference. eBay is unable to fulfill the 4P's business model. So we can see that there is no personal connection between buyer and seller to chat over instant messaging. And eBay also what we call could only pay via the PayPal, credit card, and some debit card of a local bank. But the other competitor can cooperate with almost every local bank in China to build up a higher secure network for online banking. So here are the very important lesson that we should take away from eBay failure, and we can avoid to making the same mistake. Thank you.
All right. So thank you. And this is the end of our presentation.
Okay. Questions? Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, Bruno? Bruno is the one who presented it. Anybody? Mila? Shabila? Veni?
Tired already.
Tired already.
No, sir,
Okay.
no idea. Maybe not now. The questions.
Okay. Okay, so maybe I'll wrap up. Okay, so good. The presentation was very good. In fact, their slides is the ones that actually I did not make any much changes. So it was quite structured. Very structured in the way they did. The challenges also they put it out clearly. The challenges there. Like I mentioned to her, it's a bit too wordy. I told her, but then they were able to take out the part that is important and explain that part alone. So next time what you do when it's too wordy, you highlight those keywords. Like for example, the certain parts, like for example, this very staying and all that. So then you just highlight that. So when you're presenting, then you can just point on that. So whenever everybody watching, they will look at those points, even though it can be wordy, but you just put it different color, those terms, so then people can actually spot it. Oh, okay, this is the thing, right? So try to do that next time, but okay, the slides was good, okay. And I like the way that you moderated the whole thing, one by one, and then pass over to the other person, and all that. So that is very good, right? Very good. The way the design is quite good. One more thing I wanted to mention that one of the challenges I found they had eBay was charging, if somebody want to sell something on eBay, you're selling something, they will charge you to have a shop there. But Taobao did not, were giving away free, because their revenue was coming in from there, not from the sale of the product. They're coming in from the people who set up the shop. So in China, people don't want to pay, in order for it to sell. So that's the reason why their sales dropped and Taobao was able to pick up very quickly. So that's one of the things. So maybe you need to look into that and add that as one of the,
Point.
Point. All right. Okay. So overall, yeah. So any comments? Anybody and comment anything? Something you all learned today? Anything? Thanks you. What did you learn today?
I learned the presentation, what we call the smart way of presentation, how to answer in a professional way, even though we don't know the answer.
How to get the answer, right? Okay, this works. I tell you, it works. You see, you do that every time. You find people won't talk to you too much. The way you ask them, right? If you are doing presentation or you're having a meeting, somebody keeps on asking you. Maybe not a presentation. Maybe you're in a meeting, and then the one fellow always keep on asking you a question. You feel very irritated. Have you had that kind of thing before? Is it? So
Yes,
if you
yes, yes, sir.
you just tell them that.
Yes, sir.
Just tell them very good question. You tell them when you say very good question, what happens is the guy who always asking you a question will think, oh, very good. She says it's very good. My question very good. So next time when you want to open up a mouth and ask question, you'll think, oh, she say already. If I ask the wrong question, she might think that I'm no good already. It's better not ask. You will stop immediately. So you try this. Somebody is keep on asking what irritate you. I just ask them, tell them this is a very good question. Thank you for asking. So tell that. So these are all techniques that I've learned over the years. All right. Okay, good. So today presentation, you will learn about US-China trade war, which is something that is affecting across the business. Every business is being affected because of that. One of the things, right? And then the Kajang team and all that, they talked about eBay. We talked about eBay. That's an online company. What are the challenges they had? When they enter into another country, and what did they do? How they overcome the challenges, and they were not successful. Okay. And then the last part is very good when I think. Whose slide is that? Shafiq's one, where he talked about what they did in Korea. They learned from what the mistake they made in China, but when they went to Korea, they did something different, strategic work. Instead of their branding eBay, they straight away bought over another company and then started working that. So that is what they learned. Okay. So we learned about online company, and then with Starbucks, with Vicky's team, we learned about what do you call a fast moving goods, a company with a fast moving good, what happens when they go overseas, what are the challenges that they face, we learned that today. And then finally, the Benny's team, we learned about Nike. Okay, Nike is a sports good, apparel goods, what challenges do these companies have, when they go into what you call foreign country, right? So I hope that this has really helped you, because without this research, because presentation is not a matter of how well you present it. It's also because of what you went through. You all did research, and the learning experience, that is very important. Okay, you learn about what are challenges companies can have. So that's real true international business learning. Not just come to the class, listen, and then okay, and then go back. Whatever I teach you or whatever you learned, after 1 week you would have forgotten. In fact, now I ask you what you learned in the class. When was that? The 12th or 13th of last month. Forgotten, right? Isn't it? Most of it you have forgotten, right? It's like that is how it is, right? So basically, what you will learn is, this one. What even until today, I still remember all the presentation that I learned when I did my studies earlier days. What we learned, is it? And that can because the interaction, the team spirit. Sometimes you all might be fighting among each other. Sometimes might be challenging. Some fellow would answer. Some fellow will answer something wrong, and then you upset. All this is all part of teamwork. Okay, so you will learn how to use your skills, and effectively, all right. Okay, good. So I think I appreciated all of you, those who were able to make it today. For those who could not, doesn't matter. They didn't learn that. Okay, but it's a learning experience, Okay, what I will do is, okay, now once you've completed everything, done all the changes, I want each one of you to upload into Tagyat. You have to upload. Each one have to upload, not the leader or leader. Everybody, you can convert it to PDF and then upload it into Tagyat. Only then I can be able to mark it. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So
All right,
I've
sir.
given you
All
an
right.
extension. Yeah. Yes. You have any question?
When shall we upload this presentation slide in PDF form? What's the date?
Whatever you've done
Can we
today.
upload today, sir?
Huh?
Today,
Today what? No,
Today we upload it, yeah.
You can upload it today itself, up to you. You just make the changes I told you. There are some of you I told you to make some few changes, right? Isn't it? So take note of that and then make those changes and then send to all your team members and everyone upload into the Tagyat. So that's what you have to do. All right. And okay, so I've given you an extension until the 19th for your assignment. If you have any problem with the assignment, please message me. Feel free to message me and ask me what you need to do and things like that. All right. Okay, and I will upload this video that we have done into the internet, to YouTube. I'll give you all the latest link, so you all can watch, if you want to. Is that okay? I upload it. Are you all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I need to get your permission. Otherwise, they say, hey,
Thank you, sir.
why my face is there and all that. So, okay, so I upload your the video there so you can watch it. You can show it to your friends, or maybe you can keep it as a memory, of what you have done. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Anything before we leave?
So the presentation we upload in the Tagyat, sir?
Tagyat, yes. Upload
Okay.
Tagyat. You convert it to PDF and then you upload the Tagyat. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All of you did well. All of those who participated,
All right,
did well, a good job, right? So learn the new techniques that I told you, and then I hope if I see you again the next presentation, you're able to apply this and learn.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, I'll be meeting up with you all. Probably I'll be meeting face to face. Actually, October we are supposed to be face to face, but now due to the pandemic again increase. I don't know what is the situation.
Yeah,
Okay.
so much of increase.
So yeah, so maybe we need to be a bit more careful about it. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good week.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. Thanks a lot.
And finish up your assignment quickly, and hope to see you all again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good week to all.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice
Thank
day.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Guys, bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good job, all of you. Good teamwork.
Thank you.
Some of you asked some very good questions, Very good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.